Welcome back to the Deep Dive, everyone. Ready to dive into some art history with me today?
Absolutely. Let's do it. Always ready to geek out about art.
You know our listeners. They love art, but they also want to grasp the essentials, the aha moments, without getting too bogged down, right?
Right. Cut to the chase. What makes this artist really tick?
Exactly. So today we're tackling Gian Lorenzo Bernini, Italian sculptor, lived in the shadow of, well, Michelangelo.
Yeah, talk about a tough act to follow. Michelangelo, the rock star of the Renaissance. How do you even begin to measure up to that?
And that's what we're diving into.
Right.
Because Bernini did more than just exist after Michelangelo. He made his own mark. We're talking 1600s now, the Baroque period. And one way Bernini differentiated himself was by taking on Michelangelo's most famous work, the David.
Ah, yes. The David. Everyone pictures that iconic pose. Right. But we're talking two Davids here.
Exactly. Michelangelo's David, he's standing there, calm, cool, collected, about to slay Goliath. But Bernini's David, whole different vibe.
Action shot, mid-sling swing, muscles tensed. You can practically feel the exertion.
Right, like he's frozen in time. He's even biting his lip. So is that just Bernini showing off? Like, hey, look, I can sculpt action too.
It's more than just showing off, though that's certainly part of it. Bernini was capturing the spirit of his time, the Baroque period. Think drama, theatricality. It was all about evoking intense emotions.
And the Catholic Church was a huge patron of the arts during this time, right?
Yeah.
The Counter-Reformation and all that.
Exactly. They wanted art that moved people, that inspired awe and devotion, and Bernini delivered. The way he portrays David, it's not just about physical strength, but inner struggle, the weight of the moment, which ties into the Church's message of human vulnerability and divine power.
It's interesting you mentioned the church because one detail that stood out to me about Bernini's David is that he's depicted as more mature, right? Compared to Michelangelo's more youthful, almost idealized David.
Absolutely. And that plays into the whole Counter-Reformation vibe, too. It's about humanizing these biblical figures. They weren't these perfect, untouchable beings. They grappled with doubt, fear.
Makes you think about how art reflects the values and anxieties of its time.
100%. Even something as seemingly insignificant as the type of slang David is using speaks volumes.
Oh, right. There was something about that in the research. It wasn't just any sling, was it?
Nope. Michelangelo's David has a civilian sling, while Bernini's is distinctly military. A small detail. But it speaks to the political climate of the time, the constant threat of war.
And there was another detail.
Yeah.
Something about body proportions.
Ah, yes. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of art historical analysis. Michelangelo, true to the Renaissance, adheres to those classical proportions, the head being 1/8 of the body's height. Bernini, he breaks away from that, giving his David a head that's 1/10 of his height.
So, a slightly bigger body, smaller head.
Exactly. It's subtle, but it's Bernini moving away from those rigid classical ideals. He's embracing a more dynamic, even exaggerated style, which again is so Baroque.
Speaking of dramatic, Bernini's statue of Emperor Constantine takes things to another level.
Ugh, Constantine. Now there's a story and a half.
This wasn't just some statue unveiled in a public square. This thing was guarded during transport like it was top secret.
People must have been dying to know where it would end up.
Right. Imagine the anticipation. And then it's placed in this niche.
A niche?
Yeah, like a recessed area within the Vatican's royal staircase with this huge drapery surrounding it.
Wait, so it's kind of hidden away?
That's the thing. It's this grand, larger-than-life statue tucked away in this almost secretive spot. And you have to wonder, why? What was Bernini going for here?
Bernini, the master of surprise. He understood that placement is everything. It's not just about the art itself, but how you experience it within a space. The niche acts like a frame, focusing your attention. And the drapery, it creates this air of mystery, like, come closer, discover what's hidden here.
And what's hidden there is basically a pivotal turning point in history.
Exactly. We're talking 312 AD.
Yeah.
The Roman Empire's in turmoil. Constantine, he's facing off against Maxentius, a rival emperor in a civil war. Tensions are high. Then, on October 27th, this rare atmospheric phenomenon occurs. A parhelion.
A parhelion, like a really bright spot in the sky, right?
Yes, but this one created this optical illusion, making it look like a cross had appeared next to the sun.
Whoa. And Constantine, he's like, this is a sign.
Exactly. He sees this as a divine message, has his soldiers paint the Christian symbol, the Chero, on their shields, and marches into battle.
And wins.
A decisive victory. This changes everything. Constantine becomes the sole emperor and paves the way for the rise of Christianity within the Roman Empire.
Okay, so back to the statue. We've got Constantine, this incredible moment of divine intervention. How does Bernini pull it all together?
Picture this. You're standing in that niche, the drapery is pulled back, and above the statue, Bernini has strategically placed a window. So as light pours through, it bathes Constantine in this heavenly glow, almost like he's being illuminated by the parhelion itself.
No way. So Bernini's using the actual architecture to recreate the feeling of this historical event. It makes you realize, are we seeing the art or are we seeing what the artist wants us to see? Like, how much does context influence our understanding of art and history?
That's such a great question, and I think it's something Bernini really makes us consider. He's not just depicting events, he's using light, space, even a sense of drama to craft a narrative.
Both of these works we talked about, David and Constantine, they're shown as these strong, even heroic figures, but the stories Bernini chose to tell, they're about more than just physical strength, right? There's vulnerability there, faith, maybe even a bit of divine intervention. Makes you wonder, what other messages might Bernini be subtly weaving into his work? And are we, the viewers, catching them?
That's the beauty of art. There's always more to uncover, more to interpret, and with a master like Bernini, who knows what other secrets are waiting to be found.
That is the perfect note to end on. So much to think about, so much to unpack. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Bernini. Until next time.
A pleasure as always.